start, as he so often does, going down into the first corner. Bezzecchi, though, toughs it out on the brakes, just drops across the nose of the Spaniard. Then Bezzecchi, as he did yesterday in the sprint, leads. Acosta second. It's another fast start again by Alex Marquez, who's gained 2 spots from 5th to 3rd. Tricky down and brake, he's over turn 5. Oh, there's contact.
Morbidelli
I was going to say, Morbidelli got it all out of shape on the brakes going into turn 5. Remember, it was at turn 5 in the first ever sprint in 2023 when Anaya and Luca Marini tangled, hovering just under 9/10 of a second. I suppose the big early question to pose is how much already has Bezzecchi taken out of that medium rear tyre to try and establish this buffer. Looking back then to Binder, we know that the KTM was an absolute missile down the start-finish straight. This should be like shelling fish, shouldn't it? Quattararo got really good drive than he is.
Honda less forthcoming with information compared to Tectoir. They say no confirmation yet whether it is the same in shoe with the clutch that they had yesterday, but he did come across the line on that first lap behind Johan Zarco in 7th, and then there was clearly an obvious failure.
Suffering to maintain that pace of Bezzecchi and Marquez ahead of him, a 39.170 as Aldeguer's coming from a long way back. He's going to have that inside line. It was a force move, it was an aggressive move, but Binder, well, you know, he's not going to give it up without an almighty fight. He had the inside line crucially as they climbed up turn 4, and so it's Binder that's just about resisting Aldeguer, but for how much longer? Because down into 5 we go. Well, that was inevitable. That's more contact. I think somebody's lost some aero.
It's the tail of Binder's KTM. Look at the
Rings and Miguel Oliveira, who is just about resisting Nicolo Bulega. He made that move 5 or 6 laps ago on the Italian, but Bulega's hanging on to Oliveira at the moment, trying to deny Oliveira points scoring finish. Aldeguer, that was a bit cleaner, wasn't it, to say the least? That was a lovely move on the inside of Quattararo. It's Bagnaia, it's Pecco Bagnaia. Well, that's huge in terms of long years. He's not had 4 DNFs in a row, Bagnaia, since his rookie year in MotoGP, all the way back full second to Zarco. That's what's lit up the eyes of the number 5, as the 2 Frenchmen then now set about fighting for the top 6. They pretty much match each other on that previous
push, because we wanted to try and keep that 7th place. He's currently holding off Ayagura for that P7. They're currently exchanging high 39s, but yeah, out of nowhere, Pedro Costa's now finding low 39s. He's doing a 39.2, as did Aldeguer, who's behind him, and they're 6/10ths quicker now than Alex Marquez is going. 2.1 was the gap at the start.
He's had some good days so far on the factory Aprilia. None as good as this, though. This has been a demolition job here so far, a masterclass from Marco here in Portimao. The gap between Marquez and Acosta to start this final lap, 0.8 of a second.
38.6 from Acosta, 8th and 9th place. Agura probably going to run out of time to catch Quattararo for that 6th place. Didier is going to just force this one to fit up the inside of Johan Zarco. Zarco has to jump out of the way, and that is now 8th place for Didier.
He'll be hating life at turn 3 right now, will Zarco, because he's to the absolutely brilliant Bezzecchi. What a performance here in Portimao as Marco Bezzecchi wins the Grand Prix of Portugal in 2025. He won it from start to finish. Brilliant performance by the Italian from pole position. He wins by 2.5 seconds. It could have been much more had he not backed off in the last couple. Second place ahead of Pedro Acosta, who had great late race pace. Acosta on the podium for the 3rd time in the last 4 Grand Prix.
In the last 6 Grand Prix. First time that has happened since 2020. Marco presents the winning trophy. A 2nd Sunday win of the season for Marco Bezzecchi.